It's time for the Yacht Club Show.
Needed now more than ever.
With Killer, Rev D, and Dr. Jim.
Ooh, that sounded like the real deal. Yeah, we just cracked open a few. Welcome back. This is the Yacht Club Show. This is Mike, joined by Rev D and Dr. Jim. Dr. Jim's sound effects of us opening up our bottles of beer here. I asked Rev D where the Bud Light was, but he said...
I saved them.
You saved them?
I've saved them, and we're savoring them. They may be collector's items. They Bud
Light,
Light,
not Bill Gates has anything to do with it.
Yeah, I can't believe he went big. Wasn't it?
He went big.
100 million?
You didn't hear that?
No.
He's betting on Bud Light making a comeback. He's put $100 million of his own buckolas into it.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I was kind of. I find it kind of amusing how they're trying to inoculate themselves against the blowback, and they have their commercials now. You watch their commercials; it's all cowboys and barbecues and
as
rodeos,
macho as you can get, huh?
and football, and they got every pro team's logo on the cans in the cities where they're selling it. It is laughable how extreme they've gone.
Well, with Bill Gates' money, they'll be advertising more and more.
I don't know.
I'm
You
sure.
know what? I think they're done.
Do you really think so?
I do.
I don't.
Well, no, I don't. I'm not saying they're going. You will not see Bud Light. Their sales are down. What the volume is down 30%.
Something ridiculously high. Yeah.
And I don't know how you come back from that at this juncture.
With all the competition out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well,
This will go down in 20 years from now, or no, not even that long. In colleges, there'll be a case study on this.
Yeah, exactly.
How could you screw up?
How could you botch
badly?
up a major brand?
If I was running a company, they'd be gone.
Well, I think they are, aren't they?
Well, the marketing people are gone, but I've seen people calling for the head of
the CEO.
The CEO. They want him.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think there's a
gone.
Bush now that wants to. Isn't there a
He
Bush
wanted
era
to buy.
that
He wanted to buy it back.
That will be interesting.
Yeah.
To see what happens.
Yeah.
But anyway, Rev D always brings the good stuff here. So I see we got. We like to support Bell's Brewery in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Here, got some Two Hearted and.
Well, Bell's
I'm drinking the low calorie stuff,
Yeah,
but
you do the
I don't.
Mick,
mine doesn't count. I got a Mick
the
Ultra
Mick Ultra
here.
and
Yeah.
there's
many
Jim.
calories?
You had a great line here. I brought 6 beers. Jim says, "Oh, you only bought
Only
4."
bought 4.
Eh? When I said
He
the
didn't
2 of
count
them
the
were
Mick
Mick Ultras, he didn't count those.
But that's what I'm relegated to because I'm doing the Noom diet now. So
The Noom diet.
Noom, Noom.
All right.
Yeah,
you're
put
looking
together by psychologists.
Oh, then it must be.
I mean, yeah. Say no more, right?
You're looking svelte.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, pants aren't fitting. They're fitting kind of loosely now.
Oh,
I got to start. I got to start. Using the awl and create more holes in my belt.
You got to get a belt like this.
That's what I've seen.
Yeah,
Those Jim's got one of those fancy schmancy belt where you just kind of slide it in and clamp. It's like a clamp, right?
Yeah, it's like the old Boy Scout.
Yeah,
belt.
that's right.
Be prepared.
Gotta be prepared. Yep.
Hey, I got a story for you.
Okay.
Something I thought I'd never do at 65 years old. I was on Facebook, I think it was Facebook, and an ad popped up for Rock City shop in Livonia, 5 Mile in Farmington in Livonia. Said they're going to have Alice Cooper in-house to sign autographs. The day before his concert at Pine Knob. I guess he was performing with Rob Zombie and a couple other bands.
Oh, right. You want to go see Rob Zombie?
Yeah, I didn't.
I'm not familiar with Rob,
I mean,
Mr. Zombie's work.
Yeah, it would just be add that to the bucket list.
Well, come on. Jim was the one. Dr. Jim wanted us on that heavy metal cruise with Alice.
Well, that was making
Rob Zombie was probably playing on
that. But that would be because we have an in. I mean, we'd be with the boys.
Yeah,
you know?
Dr. Jim's kid was making a buck off of that one,
that's right.
So that's different.
Oh, that's the only reason why.
Yeah.
That's the only reason, but I'd like to say, I could walk up to and say, hey, Nestor, we're,
You see, he got his plug in there, Nestor?
I did, yeah. Hey, could you introduce us to Alice Cooper? I don't want to wait in line for 3 hours, which is what I ended up doing.
Right. You did?
Yeah, so they were very coy on how many tickets they sold to this thing, right? Because what it is for $30, you get the opportunity to, meet Alice, get his autograph, and you get a copy, either vinyl, CD, of his new album called Road. Is Road, R-O-A-D, kind of stories of on the road, right? Rock and roll life. So, and it also comes with a DVD of a concert, which I haven't watched yet. But anyway, so, they say it's going to be from 4 to 7. We'll start check-in at 2. You can show up at as early as 11. I think 11? Are you nuts? It doesn't start till 3.
And you've already bought a ticket.
I already bought a ticket, but I haven't collected my merchandise for him to sign. He's only going to sign copies of Road, and in most cases, it was copies you bought as part of your ticket, right?
Okay.
So,
but does the ticket guarantee you an audience with Mr. Cooper?
If you're willing to stand in line, that's my story.
Okay, all right.
So the email said, you can get here as early as 11, check-ins at 2, be in line by 3:30. So I'm thinking I'll get there at 3:30. So I get there and it said, check in at the tent. And I'm driving up there, I'm seeing this long, long line. I'm thinking, all right, these are the people who've checked in. They're waiting in line to see Alice, right? No, that's the check-in line. Hour and a half to check in. Hour and a half to check in and collect my CD. I opted for the CD, DVD. They gave you a wristband. Then you go back to a line about the same size, another hour and a half. The only real downside, it was 90 degrees, but there was a breeze, so it didn't bother. I was fine. The only downside was they routed you behind these buildings, and there were dumpsters. Can you imagine dumpsters on a 90-degree day? It was pretty foul. And the line moves slowly, if at all, most of the time.
I don't know. Mr. Cooper must be evaluating his own life choices at this point. He's, at whatever age he is, he's what, 70-something?
75.
He's sitting behind a dumpster.
No, he's not.
Oh, he
avoids that. No, this is the line get into the.
Mr. Kelly is evaluating his voice.
Yeah, we were behind another building adjacent to it.
Okay.
There was a grocery store, so you can imagine spoiled food, all that. 90-degree day, dumpster. It's a perfect storm, right?
Yep.
It was awful. But anyway, you hang in there because it's Alice, right?
That's right.
Wait, I got a question. Is it Mr. Cooper or Ms. Cooper? What would Alice go? I don't want to.
If you want to get that far, call him Vincent. That's a real name.
There you go. All right.
Vincent.
I don't want to offend anybody. That's what I was saying.
So, and the reason why, after an hour and a half, I'm thinking I'm at least going to get my CD and DVD. So I'll hang in there for the hour and a half to get that, and then it's like, God, an hour and a half into this.
You've already.
Yeah, I've already. There was by the way, there's close to 600 people.
Wow.
I think they sold 590 tickets. They estimated 570 people showed up. So only 20 people were deterred by the heat. By the heat
and the smell.
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't know about the smell
until
they got there.
That's true.
It's too late.
The people that own this place are cool. His guy's name is Nick. He's in a band called the Twisted Tarantulas. I guess they're pretty good. But he's a really cool, young hippie type guy, Yeah, he gives some really good album reviews online. I met his mom, purple hair, but she's coolest, one of the coolest
Nick's
ladies.
Mom or Alice's mom?
Nick's mom, yeah.
Okay.
They were just really, really cool people.
Alice's mom, he's 75.
Well, 95.
Probably has purple hair, though.
She might only, he might have been born when she was like 11 or something.
Yeah. Oh, that
she could still
be
kicking it. Who knows?
You never know. But, I was talking to his mom. I said, is there going to be any opportunity with this crowd to even ask Alice a question? She goes, no, it's pretty much just sign and move on, right? But I was dying to ask him a question because I heard his radio show, Nights with Alice Cooper, is going to be over after today. I think today's his last broadcast. I think it's on some radio stations.
Yeah.
So, Alice, one of those guys that likes to, he's still touring. He likes to, stay involved, He thrives on that. So anyway, I was going to hold that question. So we get in, and the first thing they ask you is, once you finally get in the building, do you want it personalized? I said yes, and they go, what's your name? Do you want it? And I gave them my name, Mike, and they give you a sheet of paper with your name on it. You hand it in with the album or the CD. And I was able to take some pictures. I'll send you guys some pictures once I got in. Alice, I don't know if he had full makeup on, but, he looked the part. Definitely some eyeliner and stuff. Jet black hair. Probably not natural. I would think at 75. Do you think?
Who knows?
You think
who
so?
knows? Who knows? I mean,
I think he's got a carefully managed diet that allows his hair.
Keeps the hair jet black. But you could just tell there's a real warmth from this guy. I've heard he's like the nicest guy in rock and roll. I really think I've read that many times. And you can just tell he's just, God, I mean, I was 402 in line out of 570. You'd think his hand's got to be falling off, right? But, he's just very gracious. And I saw a kid come up. They had, you had to have a ticket. So this kid had a ticket. And Alice was just really chatting it up with him. I just thought he just looks like a cool guy. So I get up there, and, the guy sitting next to Alice, I give him my CD and the name, Mike. And, first thing Alice does, he looks at it, he goes, "Hi, Mike." Like he knows me, right?
Right.
And I said, "Hey, Alice, loved your book." It's called Alice Cooper Golf Monster. It's an entertaining book. Yep. He's a hell of a golfer. He said, "Oh, thank you." And I'm going to ask my question. Alice, any thoughts of doing a podcast? If I had time, I'd have talked about the Yacht Club show, but, time was limited. He said, they're talking about a podcast. And that was it. That's all the time I had.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it. Next, but really deep voice. It's like, wow. Didn't expect his voice to sound so deep when he talked. But couldn't have been nicer, but, he's got another 150 people at least, to sign, and it was already a long day. But it was cool, and his signature is beautiful, and it's got Mike, Alice Cooper, and like a thick silver marker. It's really, he did a nice job.
Keepsake?
I can't believe I did that, but you know what? He was probably one of the he was one of the first rock stars that I was aware of. In grade school, I think 7th grade, maybe 8th grade for me. And, one of my very first albums was Love It to Death. It had the song I'm 18, remember?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
18.
what Jim and Arlene danced at their wedding.
That's right. They sang
their
wedding
song. Yes.
Yeah, they sang.
We tear up every time we hear it.
Dance. So anyway, that's my story, and glad I did it. Shocked even now that I did that, but nicest people in line, too.
Well, did he go into, there's a little, the controversy, he came out against?
I think he's kind of did a J.K. Rowling, men are men and women are women kind of thing. Something like that.
Well, and his makeup company dropped him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I don't think Alice is hurting. I really don't.
No, he went to Maybelline or somebody.
Avon.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah.
Went to a real American makeup company.
Yeah, I think, isn't it called Zombie Makeup, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, the line
the line. I think it was Zombie or somebody.
I'm surprised they dropped him then.
Yeah,
perfect,
no, that's...
Well, they're going to get Rob Zombie now. That's who he played with Tuesday night at Pine Knob. So,
did you go to
75 years old.
Did you go to the concert?
I did not. I've seen him in concert.
Oh.
I saw him at the Detroit Fairgrounds. That was still in Detroit about 10 years ago, and what a show! It is so theatrical. That's the whole draw for Alice. It's a lot goes into Alice Cooper concert production, and he used to have a boa constrictor on stage, right? And there's a guillotine at the end where they cut off his head, and I don't know. I think there was 2 girls maybe that brought the guillotine.
Family entertainment.
Yeah.
Bring your kids.
Yeah, no, they were. 2 girls, I think, brought out the guillotine. He goes, "Yeah, these are my daughters." They dance in his act, and he's just unique. A Christian too, by the way, a devout Christian, from what I know. Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, he found his shtick.
He did.
It's
all theater.
Yeah.
Shock. It was shock theater.
It was shock theater.
Shock rock.
That was all that. I think that was a time when they were getting like rock was no longer rebellious. It was all, pretty mainstream, vanilla, and then they started, you get the punk came out, and then I don't know if he would be considered.
Oh, he predated.
Punk.
He'd probably be
what
considered.
What would he be considered? That's not
I
punk.
think just shock rock.
Shock rock?
I don't know if there's a genre, somewhere between, hard rock and heavy metal, somewhere in there. Some of his music kind of thrashes, but no, he predated all that, Jim.
Yeah.
We're talking Welcome to My Nightmare and stuff like that. It was, I'm sure he inspired a lot of the punk rockers. He had to have.
It was kind of an evolution from.
It was.
Donnie and Marie over to.
That's quite an evolution.
I'd get from
Donnie Marie
to Iggy Pop.
Cooper. A to B.
We're kind of becoming a music show, aren't we?
Yeah. And Nestor and Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
And,
How's Nestor? What's the update on Nestor?
I haven't spoken to him about it. He was waiting, I think, until the summer was over, and then they were going to get into the. He was going to get together with them and work on the lyrics and stuff like that. This is about the time
to remind people. Jim's son, Ben, the author Ben, who we've had on the show, terrific author. He has been asked to write some lyrics for the band Nestor. They're out of Sweden, right?
Yeah,
the band Nestor. Nestor's probably in the Alice Cooper mold. Well, they're on that cruise with them, right?
Sure.
With Alice, yeah. So Tobias is the kind of the head guy for Nestor.
Head Nestor.
Yeah, he's the head Nestor. And so Ben and Tobias have connected up, and hopefully the next Nestor album you'll see credits to Ben Cunningham for the lyrics.
And better than that, hopefully there's some royalty payments.
It's all about the Benjamins, and not Jim's son.
Well, maybe a little liner note to the yacht club for all the
promotion
support that we've done. That
should be some
special
kickback.
shout
Shouldn't
out.
there be some payola or kickback?
We've
or
softened
something?
up the American market for
That's
their world tour.
That's right.
Hey, did Alice Cooper? Did he have a band? I know he had a band, but were there any Cooperettes, or what was the? It was just him and.
I think the band was actually called Alice Cooper, and he was obviously the character Alice Cooper.
But
for the first 3 or 4 albums, anyway, maybe. Maybe
are they still touring with him?
No, he's got a different band. He's got
He
I don't know if Nita is still with him. There's this woman, blonde, very pretty, Nita Strauss, very good guitar player. I know that recently she was his guitar player. I don't know if she was on this latest tour, but yeah, it's a fresh set of musicians. But they're top notch, from what I've heard.
Well, that's. I mean, these, shall we say, seasoned rock stars are. Yeah, they
get their pick.
They get their pick, and they get their productions. They really do put on a show.
They do.
And it's, I mean, you look at what it costs to go to a concert these days. It's just, you know what? It's cheaper. So they were talking about, where did I hear about this? I think it was last week. If you want to go to a Taylor Swift concert, it's cheaper to fly to Paris and stay in Paris and see Taylor Swift than it is to get a ticket in the United States.
Oh, to get a
concert ticket.
Good ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy.
I mean, it is unbelievable.
I subscribe to some Facebook groups, and, the question was, where do you draw the line on ticket prices? How high would you go? I think on average, it was like between $100 and $150 people said they'd be willing to spend a piece for a concert ticket.
That doesn't get you anywhere,
I was
does
just
it?
going to say,
I'm thinking...
That's the cab fare to get to the concert.
I know.
Wasn't Taylor Swift, Face 600 or something? Or
so I think this is a 70s group, Facebook group, so it's probably people that just don't pay to go to concerts anymore, Or maybe an Alice Cooper, you could probably get a ticket for $150, from their era. If it's a Taylor Swift...
I'm sure that's not an unreasonable price for a night of entertainment like that.
Right. But any new hot rock star, you're talking, $300 probably minimum, right? I'm guessing.
I mean, Taylor Swift is, I think, it's not unreasonable. Some of these people are spending thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah, they are. I think Bruce Springsteen actually had some $2,000 or $3,000 tickets, didn't he? I don't know the exact amount, but it's insane.
Yeah.
And we grew up, you'd pay $5.50. Mm-hmm. But it's like, someone else said, they watched, recently they watched Creedence Clearwater Revival, a concert video, when they're playing at this Royal Albert Hall in London back in 69 maybe. They go, I couldn't believe how short the cord was on John Fogerty's guitar. Because these guys just got up there and they stood there and played.
Right.
There was no show very little show when we went to our first concerts. Now it's how many semis full of
trailers pulling in, and you
equipment.
got speakers the size of the tree over here.
Yeah,
and
it's unbelievable.
Well, speaking of that, did you see who's going to tour next year?
No.
The Stones. They've got a new album out. Hackney,
I saw that.
What was it? Hackney.
Yeah, I saw
Rocks
that.
or something, and then they're going to tour next year.
Are you going to go?
I'd go. I probably would.
Dave and I saw them when they opened up Ford Field.
Oh,
It was
okay.
unbelievable. It was a fantastic concert.
We went. I remember we went to. Maybe
I think you were
was
there.
You were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all there. That's right. We were all there.
So
Yeah.
what do you think that a Stones ticket would be?
I don't know, but let me know if you're interested.
Yeah,
and,
I bet you. Well, if they come to Detroit, I'm not
I think
I'm not
they
going to
would.
travel. There's only so far away.
Cleveland?
To go. Probably. Well, if they don't come to Detroit, they're not.
You're not
they're
going.
Not going to. Well,
Yeah.
they're not going to Cleveland.
I don't know. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's in Cleveland. Remember that? Anyway, it's a pretty good rock and roll town.
Nobody's mentioned it.
All right, let's hear it.
Super Bowl.
Wow. I tell you, the Lions, they looked pretty good last night.
They're going to break your heart. It's the Lions.
I don't know, man.
I think all the fans are asking for is, can we get a little deep into the playoffs?
Can we win one playoff game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, this
we
town
won
would
one
go
playoff
crazy.
game this year, and people will be ecstatic.
The division sets up perfectly for them. I mean, there
It
is
does.
everybody in that. I guess, well, the Vikings are sort of the perennial disappointing team, but they've got talent.
They do.
But nobody else in their division has any talent.
Yeah, I agree. It's theirs for the taking.
I was watching them last night, man. They used to drive me crazy. The part that really drives me crazy and the part that gives me some optimism for this year is they have an offensive line. Their offensive line is awesome.
It really is.
Well, in that game last night, typically they would lose.
Yes.
Yes, they
Okay,
would.
they
They'd
do
find a
not-
way at the end, too.
They're on the road playing a team tough, and they'd find a way to lose.
Snatching defeat out of the jaws
Right.
of victory.
And this
These
time they
Lions.
won.
They were winning by 1 point. There was like about 2 minutes and 14 seconds left in the game. They went for it on fourth down, and they didn't make it. And Kansas City took over the ball. I said, that's it.
Because we've seen that play over and over again.
But first of all, I remember last year, I don't know, in the beginning of the season particularly, they must have coughed up. They would score a bunch of points. They'd be up by 3 touchdowns going into the third quarter, and they'd lose the game.
Yeah.
The defense just was stout.
Rose to the occasion. And it's
And
young.
the line-
It's a young, fairly young.
And the
defense.
offensive line, and they got 2 good running backs that
They do.
can carry the ball and get this guy. What's his name?
Gibbs or Montgomery?
Montgomery.
Yeah,
the guy.
he's a
is
beast.
Tough.
He is.
You give him the ball and he gets 4 yards.
Every time.
You see him go into this pile. I said, "That's it. He's stacked
And
up
he
at
keeps
the line."
going. He's
Next
carrying
thing you know,
guys.
he's 4 yards down the line. I said, "That's not the Lions I know of."
I know.
They had a couple of big drops by receivers though, so that's got to be taken care of.
Yeah.
But the rest of it looks pretty optimistic.
I like this
I've
Jamar Gibbs.
resisted for 10 years. Believe me, Dave. I've looked at them.
I'm gonna wait it out a little bit.
Are you really?
I'm
You're
gonna-
so
I
doubting
tell you-
Thomas.
No,
I'm going to get out front and take a chance.
All right.
I'm going to too.
Okay, you guys.
We're going to win
and
at least one playoff game
I
this
may
year.
jump on the bandwagon later, but and I think they'll start out. They could start out 5-0.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at what their
Schedule looks like?
But it's the NFL. Injuries can happen.
Injuries happen.
Goff could go down.
Yeah, and it's the
a long
Lions,
season.
and they've always.
He's pretty sturdy though.
He's got a good offensive line, so
Yeah.
he's pretty well
No,
protected.
He doesn't have a history of injury. I remember when some of the things that happened with the Lions over there throughout their history kind of handicapped them. And I've always been, now, don't get me wrong, Barry Sanders is one of the most phenomenal running backs.
He was a freak.
In the history of the game.
He was a freak.
He was.
But he actually enabled them to be bad.
Yeah.
You know, they could be competitive in a game just with him.
Yep.
But they weren't good. They were never going to be good teams.
They never had an offensive line. Barry used to have to create it on his own. You know, Scott Mitchell was just shell-shocked at the end of his career there. He was just getting hammered every time he dropped back.
That too. And look at poor Staff. Then Barry left, and then, we had, Megatron. He was the receiver. They'd throw the ball to him, and he was just getting crucified. They throw the ball to him 30 times a game.
They would, yeah.
He'd get smashed all over the place. And then poor Stafford. Stafford was there going out on crutches.
He never had an offensive line,
a chance.
really.
It's amazing that he even survived as long as he did. I'm glad he finally got his Super Bowl, but man,
he's got to be done, though, don't you think?
He got a lot of miles.
I don't think the Rams want him, right? Do they? I don't think they want him.
I don't think
he served his purpose.
They got their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And but they have. It depends if he's. If they build a team, I think he's good enough to make them. Get him to the playoffs and stuff, and then you never know what happens.
I just think he's damaged goods now.
Well, didn't his wife? She on her podcast? Didn't she say something about he wants out? Or
I thought something like that.
There's something.
It's almost like there's a little bit of bad blood or something there. I'm not sure.
In L.A.
Although I think he loves the coach. McVie, is it? McVie?
Yeah, he likes McVie, but there, you hear the
McVie.
No, Kristen what was the Fleetwood Mac? Christy.
she was McVie.
I think he's McVeigh.
He's McVeigh.
But I don't know. You listen to the pundits now. I don't know how good the Rams are going to be because they have no offensive line to your point. So he could get smacked around again.
He could, and I think he's fragile now. I really do. He's had so many injuries.
And
nothing against the guy's tough as nails.
Well, even you got to be realistic. You get to a certain age and you say to yourself, when you're 22 years old, you say, I'm going to fight. I'm just going to fight through the pain.
Yep.
When you're 32 years old, you're saying, I don't know how much fighting I'm going to do. I'm going to be crippled.
Exactly.
I've got a Super Bowl, and I've probably got $100 million in the bank.
I was just going to say, I have a few shekels socked away.
Do I need this?
Yeah.
I love him. I'm so happy he got the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
He did a lot of good in Detroit, too.
He did a lot for he really made the franchise kind of watchable. He kept he made the games competitive.
No question.
Not enough to and he pulled out some pretty impressive victories, so
he
he's good at that.
No, it was a good career all in all.
Yep.
And all things considered.
In Detroit, I think overall it was a good even if he was out today, it would have been a good career.
I wonder if his stats will get him in the Hall of Fame. They might. They might.
I think he probably will. It's also, he's such a popular guy.
Yeah.
I think that's going to get him there as well.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, this is the best I've seen them since
1957.
Bobby Lane.
Who's the coach that got us to 9-7?
Wayne
Fonts.
Wayne Fontes.
Who would have thought?
Remember
Wayne
that?
Fonts would have been.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that we'd be looking back at this
the glory days.
The glory days of Wayne Fonts.
And wasn't he the one he got caught with the cocaine and blamed it on his kid?
Yes, that's right. I
Wasn't
forgot about you blamed it on his kid.
Oh God!
Can't make this up.
Yeah.
No, it always amazed me to think about it. Coaches come and go; they move around, and everything else. No one who ever coached the Lions went anywhere again.
Even Schwartz ended up as a coordinator.
Yeah, they went back on. They went at either offensive or defensive.
Look at Mariucci. He just disappeared.
He's on television now. Yeah,
he's a TV star.
And Bobby Ross, just no moss, right?
And
middle of the season, right?
The guy before Campbell.
Caldwell. Jim Caldwell, who I liked.
Oh, I thought he was.
Apparently they didn't.
I don't know.
Well,
he didn't have any talent.
I was just going to say, some of these, you can't blame the coaches for a lot of this because who's ever drafted for them is like
That was a problem.
They have a problem. They just do these guys? What are they coaching the chess team before they came to the Lions or something?
They were the debate club presidents, in high school.
Whatever. It was ridiculous. I remember I started this by talking about the offensive line. I used to look at them playing as there's no offensive lines. Get some offensive linemen, guys. 5th year in a row. First game of the season, you watch them play. Running back, 2 yards, minus 2 yards in a cloud of dust. And then drop back. It's now third and 13. Quarterback drops back, and he's blitzed.
Hey, it wasn't Caldwell. It was Patricia.
Patricia.
Matt Patricia.
No,
he was horrible.
Yeah, he
was completely lost the locker room. The players hated him.
He was not, and he wasn't up to the media part of the game either.
Terrible.
I mean, you got to be a bit of a politician just to you got to do that to take the heat off your players.
Yeah. Oh, he was.
I mean, if you can't,
he was going to come here and say, "This is my way or the highway," and you just. Right. I don't think you can coach like that in the NFL.
I'm a Bill Belichick guy.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
Yeah. You kiss my ring.
We're gonna rewrite the history books.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I thought it was somebody before Patricia too.
I think it was Caldwell before him.
Yeah, they've always. But this guy now, Holmes is
the GM.
The GM.
He's sharp.
Brad Holmes. He's sharp. But you know what? The NFL helped the Lions before Holmes. Who was the GM?
It was Quinn.
They
got from New England.
Patricia.
I thought,
that's right.
They're going to grab some of that New England DNA.
Yeah.
Man, we're going to. This is it. What a smart move. Matt Patricia, Bob Quinn.
Who knew that New England's DNA went to Tampa?
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, name of Tom Brady.
Well, that's a good point. They talk about who's better or who needed who more.
Yeah, Brady or
Belichick.
Yeah,
they were both in it together.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I mean, you needed both.
Yeah, if you watch a Belichick coach team, you could see that there was some genius to the way they played the game. And the way he could go and pick up these also-ran players and they become...
Oh, that was what I always marveled at.
Right. And they work.
Yeah. They work.
They pick guys off the scrap heap and it would work.
They'd be stars.
And Brady could make it work, too. They worked well together. But I think the egos get in the way and who's more important or...
it doesn't happen with Belichick.
Too. So when Brady got old, Belichick thought he was being smart to get rid of him while he thought he could, and he would just kind of, take a down year and rebuild going up, and then Brady turns around and gets in a couple of Super Bowls after that.
Yeah,
which is the danger when you let a guy like that go.
He was something.
People get tired of winning Super Bowls.
I guess you get tired of it.
Yeah, all that jewelry and stuff. You're getting those big. Who wants that?
I got 10 fingers. I can only wear 8 of them. I can't put one on my thumb.
It's going to be an interesting season, though. I mean, what about Rodgers at the Jets? That's going to be interesting. Aaron Rodgers.
That's going to be a circus.
Think so? Yeah. Well, you're from that area, so you know how.
And he's going to lap that up. He's going to be. You're going to see him in the newspapers. He's going to be out and about town all over the place.
Like Broadway Joe, huh?
Yeah.
So how good do you think they'll be?
Well, they have a decent team besides him. They needed a couple of key pieces to kind of complement what they got. So, I mean, he's going to make them – they were a competitive team. Now they're, now they could be going for the division, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how good they'll. He's what, 40?
Yeah.
Okay, and
good offensive line. I think it really depends on that, right?
And his game is pretty good. Like he's not.
He's smart.
Yeah, he's not a pure drop back passer where he's going to drop back, and the older you get, the less mobile you get, and you just get hammered. I mean, he's always been pretty mobile as a quarterback and pretty inventive.
Yeah.
That kid Mahomes is just
he's something else.
Unbelievable.
Were these announcers just falling all over themselves, though?
Well, if I was an announcer, I couldn't. I mean, my jaw drops when I see some of the stuff
amazing.
He pulls off.
It's when they chase him out of the pocket, that's when he does the most damage.
You're screwed if
you do. You put in this tremendous rush on him, you squeeze him out of the pocket, and that's when you have to be scared.
When he scored, I guess it was probably the second touchdown they scored. The Lions held him to fourth down.
Yeah.
But there was a penalty on third down for holding. And they took the penalty. I said, you guys.
I don't understand. I didn't understand that at the time either.
Don't do that.
Don't give him another chance.
Yeah, don't.
Did you remember that, Dave?
They
held him on. They held him on. It was fourth down.
It was third
they held
down.
him, so it was going to be fourth down.
Right.
We stopped him. I don't know if there's a couple yards still to go.
No, it was still like 7 yards or something. It was third and 7 or something.
Then that's it. That's insane.
It was actually it was 3rd and 15, I think, with the penalty. So it would have been fourth and 5.
That's the one call I just
and then
didn't understand.
He completes a 25-yard pass.
Yeah, he does. Probably scrambling. I don't remember.
I think it was like they scored a touchdown on 3 plays.
Yeah, I know.
It was like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
But how many players in the league, how many quarterbacks in the league would you be worried about?
I know.
Well, I think that's the thing. In 3rd and 17 or 3rd and 15, whatever it was.
You think you're in pretty good shape.
You should, in an NFL team, you should
get the
stop
ball.
that. Yeah, you should stop that.
Not against
I think
Mahomes.
No, I think that's the key. But I can't. They won.
Yeah.
That's.
It's going to be an interesting season.
It will be.
It will be.
This town will be crazy for the next week.
Oh God!
But all their home games are sold out. There are no season tickets available.
Yeah, right. If this team won the Super Bowl, this city would go nuts.
If it got into the Super Bowl,
we'll never see anything like that.
No.
The suburbs would go nuts.
Yeah.
I
know.
Southeast Michigan.
Oh my God.
Would look like Nagasaki.
Yeah, it would. So I don't know. Careful what you wish for.
Yeah,
we're kind of getting our one win, and we're talking Super Bowl here.
Yeah. Well, it was one win against the Kansas City Chiefs. And
wait a minute. Even Tirico said, and I was so disappointed when he said this. Well, there's an asterisk because they were absent Kelsey and Jones on
that's true.
defense.
But if they had lost, the story would be same old Lions.
Exactly.
I think that's.
Hey, we were down Jameson Williams because he was supposed to be a big part of the offense, this year. The speedster, right?
Yeah.
So
that's the thing that it was obvious that they needed one more receiver out there.
So we were
had some guy out there who dropped like 3 passes.
Oh, Jones. Yeah. I think. I think Reynolds might have even fouled or dropped a pass, but he ended up being really one of the stars of the game for us there. But St. Brown is just in another level. He's a wonderful receiver.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enough football. All right. Until next time. This is the Yacht Club Show. Music by War on Drugs, as found on the Internet Archives, archive.org.